Hey Scorpio, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot and welcome to your love reading. We're going to get right into it. I do first want to send out the invite if you'd like me to pray for you or send my good energy your way. And everybody's included in that actually. If you guys would like to pray for each other, this is going to be a space where we can do that for one another. And with my word and my intention, I'm sealing out any negativity. No negativity can come into this space. It'll just sift out like sand, has no power over us. I also can delete it in the comments section. But if you'd like us all to pray for you, send our good energy, say hi, feel free to share your situation. If you're more private like myself, a little wave in the comments section. And let's all pray for each other. Why not? It's going to be a praying party. So we're going to get some advice about love at the very end of the reading. So be sure to stick around for that. And with no more further ado, what is that saying? No further ado. I'm making a fool of myself right now. All right, we've got a lot of cards flipping and flying. Anything else for us, Scorps? No. Okay, Nine of Wands with the Devil card. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen of Cups. I'll explain what that all means. I'm gonna get some clarity though. So Nine of Wands talks about like a sense of weariness, kind of determination about something, resilience, focusing on just sticking with it. And that is something you've put a lot of work in to, something you don't want to question, should I leave this thing? Because you've already put so much work into it. That could be a relationship. It could be an endeavor that you're doing with somebody or something. But in this case, it's like you really are hunkered down with it. You've already invested a lot into it. If this was the case of a relationship, it's required working through it emotionally, possibly with therapy, or possibly just getting over certain things. But something's obviously testing you because these energies are coming up in your reading. And so there's a sense of like, do I keep moving forward, or am I going to reap the rewards of this? Anything else about that? We have, yeah. So it's like there's a stuckness in this relationship or the situation. The tarot is kind of calling you out a little bit. Not very comfortable for me to say, because who wants to be called out? No, but the tarot is pointing at something here, and it's has something to do with a behavioral pattern. Something you might be shooting yourself in the foot a little bit with something. But I want to also sandwich that with this in your defense. There's probably a good reason that these things are getting triggered. It's funny, Libra had kind of a similar thing going on in their reading. So it's kind of like, I think rather than now it's like putting the work into it, there's a resistance there. There's kind of the resistance to look beyond the work. You're just very aware of the amount of work you've been putting into something. Okay, the Devil card, do we have anything to clarify that? Okay, so there's kind of this shakeup, something that came out, a situation that came out of the blue you don't have any control over, and that's what's sprung you into action in this pattern, you know, of it's reminding you of all the work you put into this relationship or this thing, this person. And you're just very aware of the work from almost like a bird's eye view, you know? And what's happening is it's like you don't want to go deeper than that. You're stopping it right there, and you're like, I'm just tired of putting in the work, you know, like. And so you might be hyper aware of anything that would suggest you need to put in more. So maybe there's a perfectionism that's coming out, or a resistance because you're tired, you know, you've stuck by this relationship. You know, your loyalties, Scorpios can be so loyal, but to a point, and then they hit a wall. They're like, bye, and no, and nothing's going to get them back. So we have this epiphany, this realization coming through. Very interesting. It cuts through all of everything I just said. So this realization, it's either an idea or it's an epiphany of some sort. I'm going to flip that back around. We have 10 of Cups and the Knight of Cups flipping, so that's a really good sign. But flying out, we have the King of Swords. So you are very aware of your boundaries and you're seeking truth. So you cut through this epiphany or this realization and it's carrying truth for you. Now, you are not in an emotional place, like you're not in an emotionally receptive place. You're not in a vulnerable place. You're not making yourself vulnerable to this relationship. You're very much in, you kind of had it. Also, there's this thing that's holding on. Queen of Cups. Who's this Queen of Cups? Anything about this Queen of Cups? Queen of Cups can represent Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. They can represent a water sign, but they're basically somebody who's compassionate, emotional, nurturing, sensitive, very sensitive. Anything about this? Cards are withholding. Excuse me. Queen of Wands. Got two individuals here. Somebody who's charismatic, self-assured, very outgoing, extroverted, you know, they're kind of showy, people notice them. And then there's another energy that is more introverted, sensitive. So these two individuals, what about these two individuals? What do I need to know? Ten of Wands, putting down a burden. Almost done putting down this burden. What is the burden? Knight of Wands. This is another energy coming through. It's taking bold action. So basically, it's a decisive, bold action, just being brave and yeah. So this brings up this question. Is there a self-serving relationship here? You know, is it a one-way street? Because you're kind of at your wit's end. You're at a place, Scorpio, where you're like observing it with a bird's eye view and just seeing yourself work at it. And you have a realization in all of this. You get perspective in all of this. And that perspective doesn't lead you to an emotionally vulnerable place or necessarily an understanding place. Actually, it leads you to the opposite. It leads you to a very pragmatic place, like just looking for truth. It's just what you're doing, is you're looking for truth. You just don't want to be susceptible to emotions. Looking through truth. So what is the advice for our Scorpios? We have Queen of Cups coming out again. That might be you in this reading. We have a Ten of Rods coming out again. You basically got this whole hand coming out again. Yeah, Five of Swords. Hey, you won. Let's just check into that a little bit. Let's see here. Putting down a burden. Then the sun comes out. And then the sun comes out. So if it's this Queen of Cups that you, when you hear me describe the Queen of Cups as somebody, male or female, anybody in between, that is showy, extroverted, charismatic, all that. If that is sounding like somebody in your world that is making you feel this way, well, just know that it's time to put down this burden. It's time to, and you can win. You can, this could be winning, you say your piece and you walk off. It does come with a cost oftentimes, what does it mean to win in this situation? Either way, you do have the sun waiting for you. And the Hierophant flew out at some point because it's right here. The Hierophant is your belief systems. Comes down to your belief systems. What do you stick by? This is also, it rules over institutions and our disciplines around our belief systems. So it rules over marriage. But yeah, this is you cutting out your own emotion and you being looking at everything pragmatically, looking for truth and reality and putting down a burden and being happier for it because you have your principles. It's about principles. Let's get a card from this deck. So we're getting a Romance Angels card for Scorpio. Children. How interesting. Your love life is being affected by children. Well, you guys, that was very insightful. Thank you for sticking with me through it and sending you my love. I'll have the May readings out very soon. Take good care.